Hi again, this is Volleyball Explained podcast with me, Bogdan and Ronnie. Uh, After a short break, we are here again, and we are going to talk about three very interesting topics. Euro 2021 women is happening just now. Even now, at the moment, the quarterfinal is being played. Uh, Also, tomorrow starts Euro 2021 men, and also at the moment we have also the World Championship U19 men or boys, however you want to call it. I believe men is already something proper to call these guys. So these are the three topics we're going to comment today. But of course, in terms of I don't know importance, taking into account that we have already the quarterfinals in the women's Euro. Let's start with the women's Euro today. The first quarterfinal between the teams of Netherlands and Sweden has been played. The Netherlands beat Sweden 3-0, a routine win, an easy win for the team of the coach Avital Seringer. And now at the moment, Turkey is playing against Poland, and they took Turkey took the first set, and they are leading 18-8 in the second set. So it's very probable that Turkey is going to lead just in several minutes, 2-0. The other quarterfinals are Serbia, one of the hosts of the tournament, actually the only host of the tournament, which is still in the tournament, and of course Italy against Russia. Ronnie, what do you think about the tournament so far? And which do you think is the biggest surprise? Even though I won't be very I could presume I won't be very satisfied with the answer.
Well, it has been a tournament that many people that you didn't think in the past would show up. Now they do. The volleyball is spreading across Europe at a good rate, a good fast and fast and sorry, fast speed. Sorry, and it has become a very popular sport between girls, especially. You have teams like France who now are preparing the to be the host of the next Olympics, and you have Sweden with the figure of Pelehak. So you have other teams like Belarus who lose in the previous round versus Russia, but it's growing, and this is very important to the volleyball community. Uh, for me, it has been like watching a world championship in times of COVID, because you don't have the same quality in other continental championship like Nordica or South America Championship, or even in the Asian Championship. For no mention, of course, the African Championship. So, answering your question, of course, the most surprised me thing was Sweden when they won against the host Bulgaria. The thing is, when Bulgaria won the two sets that they won, make it look too easy for them. I think that they commit a series of silly errors in the ends of the second and the third, especially the third, because you have to when you lose a set, everybody thinks that you have to win the next one, and that didn't happen. Bulgaria, I think if Bulgaria have won the third set, they got it. So,
yeah, much over. And we actually led in this set 17-13. I mean, the third set we lost at the end. So, and I'm pretty sure that we would have won this if we won the third set.
uh, people have told me that Hack did everything. Man, you saw the game. You were there. Hack
No,
was.
I don't agree with this.
Hag didn't do anything till the third set, I believe, and even so, she didn't do as much of the other Swedish player. I think the defense and blocking of that team where it wasn't something great, but it showed up when they needed, and especially to uh, 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 when they performed those defense on blocking, the Bulgarian players used to lose their main focus. We saw Eli Vasileva failed some spikes in very important spikes. So yes, shout out to the second middle blocker. I believe is not the one that it will go into Italy. I'm talking about the I don't know his name. I think he's
Христина Vuchkova.
Exactly. So she tried to to inspire the team with his fast spike and such, but at the end, man, it was impossible. And if you see the total points, Bulgaria make 110 points and Sweden only 95. So that makes you the idea that the better team didn't win. So, but in volleyball, we are used to see that this kind of situation, especially in the last Olympics. In the women, everything was fine, but in the men, nobody told me or told you that France could lift the goal. So yeah, it happens, and it happens a lot. So yes, at the end, Sweden won, but we all know that they were living beyond their life expectations. So the result versus Netherlands wasn't surprising me. So yeah, 3-0.
Yeah, for sure. I would just add several things about the Bulgarian performance in this match. Firstly, I believe that technically we're awful in reception during the whole game, and we was not able to compensate in attack due to two reasons. Firstly, Elitsa Vasileva's injury. We all know that she was injured during the whole tournament, more or less. Of course, it's a slight injury that actually gave her the chance to play, but especially in this match, it was pretty sure that their injury deteriorated, and actually she wanted to be subbed in the tiebreak, but Ivan Petkov, the head coach of Bulgaria, didn't respect her wish. The second one is that I noted it also during the match that Emilia Dimitrova, our opposite, she played great during the whole tournament in the group stage, was pretty tired and she was not jumping highest in the previous matches, and actually another injury in the second match, I believe in the preparation of the second match of the reserve opposite, Mira Paskova, didn't give us the chance to have an opposite substitute after the match against Spain. But still, if you are leading 13-11 in the tiebreak, this couldn't justify your defeat. And I believe that after the first set, we underestimated the team of Sweden. We already thought at least subconsciously about the quarterfinals, and that was the problem. Okay, enough for this, because I'm also very pissed. I was pissed off. I made a live after after the match from the streets of Plovdiv, where this match has been played. Let's go again. Just to check what is the result between Turkey and Poland. Turkey so almost won the second set. Mm-hmm. The next thing, of course, is that Serbia will face France tomorrow, and Italy will face Russia. Actually, the winner of Serbia-France will play the winner of Turkey. Poland, the final four will be played in Belgrade. So Turkey against Serbia is a very probable semi-final, and I believe that if this happens, this is going to be a final before the final. Actually, that was the final of the European Championship 2019. In the other part, Netherlands against Italy. I don't Italy or Russia. I believe that Italy is a slight favorite against Russia, and this is because of the fact probably also that Russia is without many of their stars like Goncharova, Korolova, Voronkova, and Fetisova. Still, Arina Fedorovtseva, the 17 years old star, is there, but I don't think she's going to be enough, even though Italy is not impressing that much during the group stage. So I would say that Netherlands, Italy is going to be the other semifinal, and here I am going to make a prediction that it's very possible for me to have a surprise there, because of the fact that Italy is not that impressive. Let's see. Actually, who's your favorite for the tournament?
Well, my favorite is Italy, but I will have to see if Serbia, with their core advantage, can do damage, and I think they will do. It will not be a 3-0 game, that's for sure. It's possible in women volleyball, but prior the Olympics, you know that Serbia and Italy did some friendlies, and they all end up for Serbia 3-2. But this was before the Olympics, and none of these teams participate in the VNL, at least with their first squad. Italy, well, it surprised me yesterday because we all know that Herbots from Belgium was injured and she didn't play, or she won't play anymore at this tournament. And Italy was leading the game. I thought it was going to be a 3-0, but Belgium managed somehow to win a set. So you see how fragile is the Italy team when they are behind. So as you say, Russia only have Fedorovtseva and some young players that it will take the Russian team to the next Olympic cycle. We have no more Kosheleva, we have no more Goncharova. They are also some middle blockers missing, and well, they do what is supposed to do for this team in this tournament. I think tomorrow can be a pretty easy match for the Italians, and I don't think really that we will have a surprise like you say, because Netherlands has to go from Plovdiv now to Belgrade. They have to travel. You know how many COVID restrictions are. They have to take additional measures in Europe. So Italy is already in Belgrade. They will play tomorrow, and they will play 3 September, 3 of September. So it will be 2 days without playing. Now the Netherlands will spend 4 plus the traveling. So I don't think that we will see. Maybe you have to take in account all those things into consideration, because they are very important, and in the end the small details at the end make you, or at least the close final result.
At least I'm sure that we're going to have very interesting semifinals, because most of the matches in the group stage were pretty awful to watch. Not interesting is the least we can say about them. And I believe that 24 teams are too much, especially in the women's section. Probably in the men's is here, but
it's too much too.
Probably too much too, but a little bit better, because in the women's section we had teams like Bosnia, like Greece, like Spain, like I don't know. Too much. Okay, probably this is enough. It's very possible that we're going to have Serbia, Turkey, and Netherlands, Italy in the semifinals. Of course, this is totally not sure. But let's go to the men's Euro 2021. The European Championship men starts tomorrow with the matches between Estonia, Latvia, and Finland against North Macedonia. Finland and Estonia plus Czech Republic and Poland are the hosts. Again, 4 countries hosting the European Championship. And And probably this is the moment where we should actually explain the groups. In the first group, Group A, we have the teams of Belgium, Greece, Poland, the host, Portugal, Serbia, and Ukraine. Here, the favorites are Poland and Serbia. In the second group, we have Belarus, Bulgaria, the host, Czech Republic, Italy, Montenegro, and Slovenia. Slovenia and Italy are the favorites here, but Italy is a very scarce team without Zaitsev, without Juan Torrena, even without players like, for example, Luca Vettori. The opposites in the team for the championship will be Giulio Pinali and Yuri Romano. Gianelli will be captain, but yeah, very, very young team. So I believe that in the group here, in group Pool B, we have Slovenia as the favorite. Group C, Pool C, we have the host Finland, Netherlands, North Macedonia, Russia, Spain, and Turkey. Of course, Russia is the favorite in this group, but again, without Maxim Mikhailov and even without Poletaev. The opposites in this case will be Maxim Zhigalov and the surprise, Kirill Klets, who played in a Bulgarian championship several years ago. Actually, a lot of the teams have missing players, and this is for a very simple reason, because for the very first time since I don't know when, we have 3 big tournaments: VNL, Olympic Games, and European Championship in 1 year, and of course, this is the decisive factor. And the Pool D, we have Croatia, Estonia, France, Germany, Latvia, and Slovakia. We have France and, of course, Germany as the favorites in this group. The France, of course, the Olympic champion. For the 1/8 finals, Pool A will be crossed with Pool C. The first team of Pool A will play the fourth of Pool C, and so on. B and D will also cross for the 1/8 finals. Who is your favorite here? Because it's for me, it's a very hard estimation due to the fact that we had so many championships here. France probably, but as Olympic champion, the motivation will play. Russia is weakened without Mikhailov and Poletaev. Italy is weakened without Zaitsev and Juan Torrena and even Vettori. I don't know. For example, a medal for Slovenia, could it happen?
Well, it couldn't the last European Championship, and it happened. So I think that we are usually
again. I would say again. I actually missed it again for Slovenia.
We always underestimating Slovenia because of one thing: history. And if something has been proven, history means nothing when the game is at this hot spot. You know, if you're looking for a favorite, I say Poland. You know, this is the redeem campaign from the disastrous Olympic campaign, and it will be the last tournament of Vital Heinen, because she already said goodbye to the national team. And you know, Poland is looking for now a new coach that took the team to the Paris Olympics, sorry, and they will be at home. You know, if something I learned that is that Poland in home, they deliver a good show. We are not talking about the 2017 Euro Volley. That was a disastrous. I believe that they didn't want to play too much, and after the conquest of the 2014 World Championship. But you know, I thought that it will be more competitive pools in terms of teams, but we only see Pool A as something that, you know, that game of Poland versus Serbia, the only one that can give us something. Italy, maybe they are a young team, but especially Bulgaria, which doesn't have Sokolov in this tournament. They can easily beat the other teams like Belarus or Montenegro or such. And talking about Bulgaria is hard to see what is going on with this team that has so much history. I believe this is the worst period since I watched volleyball of this national team, when players are not called to the national team due to internal problems with the coaches and people of the federation, like you mentioned, every time that you have opportunity. And this is something that have killed one of the historical national teams in Europe, Bulgaria, who were finalists in the Eurovolley of 2009. Sorry, finalists or third place, and
yeah, third place in 2009. Yes,
and in the at the sorry in the first decade of 21st century, they won several things and participated in Olympics. The last one participation, they almost got a medal playing for the third. So not, right now they are like Serbia or even worse, so because Serbia still has some players that maintain that country in contention for things like Lisinak, Vasevic, and Atanasijevic. I don't know what's going on with Serbia after those men retire, but it looks pretty shaky too. So I will say that, of course, Slovenia is the favorite, even though they only have 6 or 7 players. They don't have bench, and Italy will come second. And you say Pool C, I think they are saying that Kliuka maybe will be the opposite, the starting opposite. Maybe this is a crazy idea. If I was if Samuel Wu is planning something different, I don't know, but I will not risk maybe the best man of this team, especially before the club season, to another risky position, because you know how physical you have to be to play.
I don't see any reason for having two opposites and playing outside hitters and opposites. This could happen only with Perugia and Heinen.
Okay, and of course France and Pool D is the favorite, and maybe Germany or Slovakia. Germany did some friendlies versus Netherlands. It didn't go too well, but I believe that Grosser didn't play in those games. Germany is other team that is rebuilding his squad. You have guys like Linus Weber, From, and Sossenheimer, but still they are no match for France. The only thing that I see for France is the Bernardinho factor. He is a man that doesn't like lazy players or unprofessional ones. And this can be a conflict, because how do you motivate a group of players that already won the ultimate prize, which is gold in an Olympic? So
less than a month ago.
Yeah, exactly. So you don't have enough weapon to say, hey guys, they don't need to do anything. They already won the ultimate prize. And this can be a problem for him, because there is no way that you will say to Ngapet, look, dude, you haven't won anything. He already won everything. So and that is your best guy. So the main focus of Bernardinho in this Olympic cycle is work with the young categories and the young players and try to find someone who can be the next Ngapet. Otherwise, I think it will be very difficult for him to continue after Paris or even make it to the Olympic Games, because okay, France is the Olympic champion, but how many Olympic medals have won Bernardinho? So we are talking about a man that took Brazil to the final for 4 consecutive Olympic Games and won 2 golds. So maybe Ngaped and the boys are the Olympic champion. Okay, congratulations. But you have to respect your coach who has more Olympic history than yours. So, and I know that there are some internal problems already with this squad, and Bernardinho is not happy there. He thought that it will be a different situation, but I can understand what is going through because uh, you didn't expect that France took the gold at the Olympics. No one expect that. Maybe it was a slight chance, a tiny chance. But when they go to the final, everything was possible, and they did. So the chances that that thing happens again, very very small. And even in Paris, when they will play with crowd, hopefully, and in his home, it will be very hard to do that again, especially with the players aging and the quality of the middle blockers, etc. Not that Bartholomew is any bad, but I don't think that Legov can keep the rhythm or the others middle blockers in general.
Do you
Yeah.
think that it's possible to have a team who is taking the role of Sweden in the women's tournament? An average team reaching the quarterfinals, for example?
Well, man, you know how unpredictable women volleyball is. You can be 5 or 6 points ahead, and you can go for a cup of coffee, and when you go back, the game starts. So, but in this situation, particularly, maybe Turkey can do some damage. People uh, don't quite know that Turkey is a country that have a decent league, and they have now Lagun Siha on his roster, and other experienced players like Burutai Subasi and Efe Bayram, who is like Lagun Siha, a young player which playing halfback. Sorry, who playing halfback. But Turkey maybe. Bulgaria, as we all know, is facing problems, many problems. And maybe Germany can, because they have Giuliani and Grosser. Nobody thought that Germany ain't playing for the Olympic ticket in his home or playing the final in 2017 Eurovolley versus Russia, but they did. So Germany is a team that you have to look up in this kind of situation because, as you say, France already won the thing that they needed to win in this year. Russia doesn't have Maxime, and Maxime maybe he is not the best player anymore in Russia, but he is a key member of this national team, and but taking that. Sorry, Ukraine. You have Oleg Plonitsky and other guys. They are investing all the resource of the league in two teams, in Podoliani and Barkon Kashani. And I believe Barkon is making negotiations with the Plus Liga to play there in next season. I don't know how, but they think that because they are close to Poland, they could also play the league. I will say that they have to get first in the second division as everyone, and not aim for now to the first division of Bundesliga. But these Ukrainian people always taking the opportunity to bring their teams to another level. And I know that they are some important businessmen in this country, so they can do it possible. And for my perspective, that's it. Ukraine, Turkey, and maybe Germany. Netherlands, now are using Walter Termat as outside hitter. He was opposite. Well, he is an opposite in Sirat Bankasi in Turkish league, and they are using that in conjunction with Terhorst, who will play in Perugia, still playing Perugia, and of course Nimir as your opposite. With those three players, maybe they can do some damage. But taking taking out those teams, maybe you can beat Italy, for example, because Italy has no more the big stars, but they have Micheletto, and Micheletto is the rising star, and for the first time in many years, you have a player of Italy that is an star and is 100% Italy, with no Russian parents or Cuban. It's not okay. You understand my point?
Yeah.
So
And
yes.
let's mention also that Italy has a new coach too, just like France. Their new coach is Ferdinando De Giorgi, the former head coach of Rube and also of Poland, for example. And let's say also some things about Bulgaria. I will be mm, very surprised if Bulgaria makes it more than a 1-8 final for a very simple reason. Firstly, there are some rumors. I wouldn't say information because it's not confirmed, but Tsvetan Sokolov and Todor Skrimov and also one other player had some injuries that probably is not going to give them the chance to play on 100%. So it will be very similar situation like the one of Yelitsa Vasilyeva in the women's team. And I believe that if we need to play without Sukov and Skrimov, it's going to be a very VNL similar situation, and with the opposite Velizar Chernokozev with Martina Tanasov and Asparuch, of course, very talented players like Asparuch and Martin, but we were not going to have this weapon needed to make it against the best teams, even not against even the best, but also against the teams that are under the best, like for example Germany and probably teams like Netherlands and teams like this. And I'm not very big optimist about this tournament, but let's hope that they are going to prove me wrong. Do you want to add something more about the Euro?
The importance of this tournament, and because of the world new ranking system of points, you have to take in account every tournament into consideration, because now you lose points in every tournament. It doesn't matter is it is a European Gold League or European Silver League or Pan Am Cup or Norseca or Eurovolley. You lose points even when you enter the court. If you win, you lose points, and if you win 3-2 versus a weak team, you also lose points.
Yeah.
So and this is something that I was checking the rankings today in the morning, and I saw that the defeat versus Sweden only cost 9 points to Bulgaria. It wasn't that much as I thought, only 9 points. But if Sweden have won 3-1 or 3-0, they could have taken more. So this is very important for the future of the volleyball. And the FIVB wants that the key players of every national teams play the most part of the tournament, because they are tired to have B or C squads. And they, like for example, if you notice, after the Olympics, United States ends at the fourth spot in the FIVB ranking. After the Nausicaa Championship, which they sent an college team, and they didn't even make it to the semis. They dropped 2 spots, and this can be important because we all know that draw for the World Championship is coming up 13, no, 3rd, 30, sorry, of September, at the end of September, and it will be a match that the world ranking will be the big factor to draw all the teams in the
for the
pool.
qualifiers. Yes, this is the most important thing about the ranking. That if you are in a better place in the ranking, you will have better opponents in the qualifiers for the European Championship or World Championship.
For some team, I mean, Bulgaria, they are in a top spot. They will have for sure a hard team, a medium team, and a weak team.
Yeah.
Because as you know, there will be 6 pools of 4 teams in the first phase, and then in the second you will have 3 pools of 6 teams, something like that. You know how FIF is with his formula. Never are good, but that's it.
Yeah. Okay. Probably this is enough for the European Championship. Let's go just a bit for the U19 World Championship, where we have the semifinals tomorrow. Bulgaria will face Russia, and Iran will face Poland. Today in the quarterfinals, Iran beat Argentina, Bulgaria beat in a very dramatic match Italy, Russia beat Brazil, and Poland beat Germany. What do you think?
Well, since the first edition of this World Championship, Bulgaria hasn't been able to conquer another medal. We're talking about '89, 1 year before the CCP fall and the Berlin Wall also. And at that time, Brazil conquered gold, Soviet Union was second, and Bulgaria was third place, beating Iran 3-0. Now we have maybe 32 years
32.
after, we have Bulgaria in a pretty nice spot. After so long, they never reached the best 4 in this kind of tournament, and for the first time, we have a team that is capable of doing great teams. They know how it is to lose versus Russia in this tournament, so I don't think the result will be the same. Maybe they can, because they are tired from the today game. You have the Russians lady favorites, but as Cuba played the Russians and they didn't impress me. They are a team that make a lot of errors because they serve too hard and they try to win the game from the service line. And yeah, maybe Bulgaria can do some damage because I think they play like the Italians. They receive well, they block well, they know how to do counter attacks, which in these categories is very hard to see. And they, like you say, they are not boys, they are men, and they have a really nice shot. Of course, Russia for me is the favorite to win and qualify to the finals, and the other results didn't surprise me too much. Maybe the Argentina one, because Argentina is a team that always take care of the fundamentals and the basis of volleyball, even if they don't have good size to play this sport. But yeah, another thing that I criticize of this tournament is the fact that all the, let's say, not great team end up playing in the upper side of the bracket, leaving Iran a maybe easy path to the semifinal or the finals. Of course, they will meet Poland, his black beast for almost over a decade or so. But I think Iran has many chances to go to the final too. So even if Poland beat them in the group phase, final considerations about Italy. Italy did well. They could have won the game and the tournament. But when you have a so competitive team like Bulgaria, who didn't left the ball drop in the fourth when that giant block of the Italians took off, and I almost saw the ball touch the floor, and at the last moment, that's why I love volleyball, and we all love volleyball, because in a fraction of a second, your life can change forever. So, and Bulgarians keep the ball alive, keep the dream alive, and they won. And maybe Bulgarians fans doesn't like the ways that Stoev do things, but he is in another semifinal again after many years, and he's the only coach of Bulgaria that uh, let's say, have been with good results, in the last 20 years. No Stoichkov, but we all know that Bulgarian Federation didn't let Stoichkov work properly. But facts are facts. He didn't won anything. Also, Brandy only won that bronze, I believe, yeah, in the European Championship. And you have Stoy once more doing good things. I don't know. There are big chances that he keep playing for the young categories, developing players and such, which is very important at this moment, because we know that Bulgaria doesn't have many source material right now. But it's a really great result already. Maybe tomorrow we will have the ultimate prize and in the final.
Let's hope so. Yeah. This I would like to, actually I can talk about this team for I don't know, for decades. Firstly, this generation is not only a very talented in terms of volleyball, but also a group, a team of very decent and well-educated boys. This is the first thing I would like to mention. Secondly, it's very important that there were not only nerves of steel. It was unbelievable what they made in the fourth and in the fifth set. They have also subs. They have the reserves like Venislav Antov. Venislav Antov is playing in U19, but he's only 17. He was born in 2004. Actually, one of the middles was Buchkov, a number 3 of the Bulgarian team, also born in 2004. The other guys were born in 2003, but some of them developed in a great fashion, like Alexander Nikolov, the son of Vlado Nikolov. Some of them didn't, like Vladimir Gurkov, but during the tournament they're playing better and better. I hope that they won't be that tired from this match. And so now, firstly, I'm going to add something interesting, that Andrea Burattini, the Italian specialist, is assistant head coach in the Bulgarian team, and probably is very strange, awkward feeling after the match. But he was also very happy for the team, and I'm sure for that, because he's also working with 6 of the players playing in Levski Sofia from this team. I would like to give credit to Italy, because if they had won this match, it would have been very fair. And I actually told you that in our chat with Nicole also. Italy is a very good team in defense, very good team in reception, and they have much better technique, I believe, than our team. But our team today, I would say that with, of course, when you won with 2 points, with 16 and 19, you always need to have luck. But I believe that the power won today, the power, or not only the power of spikes, but also the power of will. And tomorrow against Russia is going to be a very different match, because I believe that Russia is the total opposite as a team of Italy. If Italy is very good in defense and reception, Russia's weakness is there. And actually, Bulgaria could have won the first match if we had a better block against the high balls of Russia, but we didn't do it. I hope that we're going to have much better serve with Gerkov playing better, and also Budurov playing better in blocking. He had six blocks today against Italy, and I really hope that we can beat Russia, but it's going to be very hard. Also because of the fact that Russia beat very easily Brazil 3-0, and we had this very dramatic match. In the other semifinal, I didn't watch Iran, but I watched partially the match between Poland and Germany. I was not that impressed from Poland. More to say that Germany is a weak team than that Poland played very impressive. They played decently, just what they needed. So this is going to be, and it's very hard for me to predict both matches. Probably Iran and Russia are a slight favorite, but it's very even. Okay.
Do you think
Yeah.
so that Iran is favorite over Germany, right?
Over Poland.
Over Poland, yeah. Well, looking
hard to say. Probably I watched very slight portion, almost no one against in their match against Argentina in the fourth set, which they took very easily. So I'm not considering that for watching because it was very small portion of the match.
Yeah, well, let's see how thing ends. But like you say, Poland maybe upset the host. We are not in presence of that kind of Poland team that dominates the young categories like 4 years ago. But if something can upset Iran, is Poland, because of the history, and I don't like the Iranian teams because for me they always, I feel they always do the same. When I see the faces of the Iranian players, I don't see boys. I see players of 22 or 23 years, and I think they are. I don't know. Maybe is their physique. Maybe is their. That's the way things are back there. But for me, they are not using, and for many years ago, they are not using players of the age of they are saying that the player is. So it will for me a very good result if Poland came victorious of that encounter. And of course, I also want that Bulgaria win because I'm tired that the Russians took everything, every final in young category. So let's see. And also, I don't think Levinsky is the new Maxim Mikhailov. I don't know why people keep saying that. So every time that a player shows up from a country that has history, oh look, he's the next this, he's the next that. The son of Vlado Nikolov is not Vlado Nikolov. Is something else, Maybe he will develop great and be a respectful player like his dad, but every player has his own history, and we cannot compare every time that someone shows up. Look, he's the next this, and he's the next.
Yeah, I agree.
Brazil have like a guy, Maicon França, who is 2 meters and 15 tall, and he have 17 or 18 years, and everyone is saying in Brazil that he is the next Leon. If Leon watched that player play, he will laugh, because he is only a tall kid, but very uncoordinated and very amateur in his movement and very slow. So we have to we need to stop comparing peoples and players from other generations to this new generation. That's it.
Just to add that Turkey beat Poland, so they qualify for Belgrade, and probably they're going to play the host from Serbia in the semifinal. That was quite enough for today. We were very extensive about the both European Championship, the women's, which is in their quarterfinal phase, and the European Championship men, which starts tomorrow. Also about the U19 World Championship men, which is in their semi-final phase with very interesting matches: Bulgaria, Russia, and Iran, Poland. Very exciting matches they will be. This is enough. Thank you, Ronnie, for being here. Thanks also for the listeners. Subscribe to Volleyball Explained. Subscribe to Cuban Spike. Follow Piole di Volley, the page of Nicole in Twitter and Facebook. And of course, if you like our content, you can also support it in Patreon with the link below in the description. Listen to us also in the podcast platforms, and see you, listen to us, see you, watch you, and until the next time. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Take care.